chatting the past couple of days with an actress who is actually she's in the southeast portion of India right now, shooting some work, and then she heads back up to northern India. We're going to have her on the show pretty soon, so that's exciting. And I know right now it is about 3 in the morning, probably in England, around there somewhere. But I know a lot of you will be watching this on the replay, and that is super cool. Please share this out with your friends. My name is Revolution McInnes. This is RevMac Live, the big interview, and I am just super, super stoked. Well, that we have Kristen Ford on here, and that I've been on 2 nights in a row, because that does not happen much lately because of everything else that has been going on in my life and all the little moves we're making and the things that will be coming back to live streaming. I don't know, in the winter, I think, after the first of the year. We've got our little film contest, and that's going to take up, I think, the last quarter here of the year in terms of my attention, I think, in a lot of ways. We will be going out to California in February. So if you're in California and you want to have coffee, hey, let me know. We'll have coffee. There are a few of you that I want to, Vanya, I want to go get drunk at one of your comedy shows. And of course, there's about 1,200 musicians that I love out there that I want to see play too. So I'm going to have to stay in California for a year when I head out there in February. But we will be there in February. We're going to do an event, and I will keep you up to date on that, everybody. But let's just jump right at it, because this is not about me. This is about the amazing people that are on my program. So Kristen Ford was an early adopter of the RevMac Live show. How are you?
So blessed. Too blessed to stress.
Awesome. I like that. I like that. And Kristen is in Tennessee. Are you in Nashville? Are you in the suburbs, or are you in? Are you more like over in Dothan?
Where's Dothan?
Dothan is in. Dothan would be in northwest Tennessee, I think.
Okay, I'm in Nashville proper, Nashville, Tennessee.
Actually, Dothan might be just still central Tennessee. Can't remember. My grandparents lived in Clarksville, Tennessee for a long time, about 40 minutes north of Nashville there. So
Cool.
I am very familiar with that part of the world, and I enjoy it down there. But wait, you're a musician, and you're not from Tennessee though originally, are you?
No, I was touring for 2 years straight. I went to pretty much every major city in America, and back in 2016, I decided that Nashville would be the place that I wanted to move and set up. And they say it's a 5-year town, so watch out.
I was talking to an A&R guy on the show recently, and he's down in Nashville, and it really is transformed from when the old country music days, when I remembered going to Nashville and going to, gosh, what was they have like a Six Flags kind of place down there, Opryland and all that kind of stuff, and the Grand Ole Opry, and it was still pretty heavily focused on country music, but I mean just about any kind of music. Now the records are made down there, and in the clubs, I think you can hear just about anything.
It's true. It's true. Even downtown Broadway, like where people go to hear, country music,
Yeah, the country
um,
music, right?
you'll hear pop and rock and like Superstition and Prince covers. So it's
Oh,
just
that's
good
pretty
music
wild.
here. There's so many great musicians and engineers, music business people. I just really enjoy the overall culture of being in Nashville.
That's pretty
I don't know
neat.
if I can speak for Tennessee. I mean, our governor's name is Bill Lee, which sounds like Billy,
Uh-huh.
which
Well,
I don't know.
yeah.
It's we got into politics, I think, the last time I was on the show. I'll try to keep it off the
Yeah,
rails, but
well, you're
anyway,
free to go into politics, but I
Nashville's
won't.
cool. Nashville's
I
cool.
won't unless you want to. But let's talk music at least for a little while.
Of
And
course, of course.
Nashville too, because the there's obviously there's a music scene in LA, and we have friends, mutual friends, obviously, that live in LA and play out there. And I think that so Christy Huff, who's been on a tear, she is like just doing amazing lately. and started opening for some pretty good size acts, and had a great summer festival season and everything. Christy was on not that long ago, and I'm always been one of those people where it's kind of like, yeah, I like all kinds of music except country music. I don't like country music stuff. That shit sucks, man. I don't like it. But secretly, it can be catchy. And new country music that tends to be more pop like, I 100% enjoy. And music, by and listening to Christie's music and stuff, especially, I have really come to enjoy country music a bit. There's a song that's like really popular, a pop song right now. But I don't know if the guy's name's like Brent or Brett Walker or somebody. I don't remember but it's just this catchy little tune about some guy and how when he gets a little extra money, they get all fancy and they go to Applebee's or something like that. But it's very cute, fun little poppy song. And you know what I mean? That's a pop song. I mean, it may be sung in the country flavor, but I mean, it's a pop song. And my favorite country music musician is a guy named Little Nas X. And Little Nas X has more. So record sales and the most sales and country song sales and everything, that can all be a little tricky, but he holds a category of something like um the most it's basically the most singles ever sold, for country music, but it's not quite worded that way. And it's pretty funny because a big chunk of the country music industry kind of skips over that particular category, I think, sometimes. But he is pretty much the biggest country and Western singer of all time with that big hit he had a while back. And I really love that attitude of folks getting into country music that, you can come from any direction. So it's pretty neat. But we're not here for me, tell us, and maybe you want to play us something, but what's your music about? How did you land there? You know what I mean? Like, who influenced you? I'll just ask like 12 questions and then you can just talk for a while.
Okay, that sounds good. Well, I play indie rock is the category that I would put my music in, but I am a singer-songwriter and I also collaborate with a hip hop pop project called the Blue Janes.
Oh,
And
cool.
um, I've definitely been put in the folk singer-songwriter category and then also considered more alternative rock, rock category. And I just came into music. I started playing guitar when I fell in love with Blink 182, and I just couldn't get enough of that vibe. I had to get a guitar and learn how to play those songs. And in the process of learning a few chords on guitar, I started expressing myself as a songwriter. And, um, I really haven't looked back. And 20 years, guitar has been my friend and my therapist and my just
Ooh,
outlet,
I like that.
fun, all of the things. So I feel like I do a lot of different genres. My single Radio is reggae, and we're getting close to 20,000 streams on that, so that will be exciting. That's my most Spotify track at this
Spotify
point.
track. Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I don't really necessarily adhere to one genre, but I will say that I'm really interested in crafting songs that have a chorus that you might be able to sing or a beat that
Hmm.
grabs you right away or something that's gonna
Kind of important in a song.
right. Well, I mean, if you look at like you were talking about the emergence of hip hop and some R&B stuff, like it can really just be the same three chords the entire time or
Hmm.
one
ZZ
beat,
Top.
one section that just keeps repeating. And I think I'm a little bit, some people say I have like they hear a lot of 90s influence in what I'm doing.
Hmm.
And the part of the excitement of making War in the Living Room, this new record I'm dropping tomorrow, was working with my mentor, June Millington, who taught me to play guitar when I was 15. She was in the first all female band to be signed to a major label back in the early 70s. And she's, played with legends and learned how to do recording in that analog style of like, if we're going to do harmonies, you all stand around a microphone and sing together. And um, choosing your guitar tone and just sticking with it, not a whole lot of like let's fix it in the mix or post-production
Right.
stuff. And then
Right.
I fell in love with this band called Bad Bad Hats, and they are a Minneapolis indie rock band. I also really like the group Now Now. They're also from Minneapolis, and they worked with producer Brett Bullion. So he and I had a few conversations, and seemed like we really were on the same page about trying to create something that felt really timeless or really modern. So I had him mix some of the songs that I did with June and produce some standalone songs. And I think the result of this record is like you've got tunes that you're not sure what decade they're from. Are they from the 80s? Are they from the 70s? Is this like a 90s bop? And then you also have this, definitely this is a current album. There's synthesizers and there's interesting manipulations to the sounds, and we're taking risks and making stuff happen. And I wasn't sure how they were going to come together, the two schools of thought of producers and recording in two different places. But listening to the record, especially on vinyl, it really was like, oh wow, it's seamless. You can't tell what was recorded where. And um I just hope that it really will be a record that stands the test of time. And also, I've toured a lot as a one woman looping band where I'm just acoustic guitar and beatboxing and layering all kinds of effects in real time. And it's cool. It's cool to be one person that does that. However, coming back to Blink 182, and the reason why I started playing guitar was that full band feeling. And it's been super great to record with a full band in the studio. And then recently I've been touring with a four-piece rock band, and it's really nice to just sing and play guitar and front a band and have a bunch of friends with me on stage. And it just feels like the kind of music I would want to go and hear. And I've, it's it's so much fun. I'm kind of like amazed that that it's all unfolding. So hopefully that answers some of your questions.
Yeah, I know you over the summer you traveled a lot. You were working on music videos, so you've been getting prepared for this album for a while. And are you going to be you got to have a little bit of a tour set up here now? Are you going to be gigging out and about over the holidays here? Are you going to be close to home? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing mostly like local regional shows the next couple weeks, but then February and March is going to kind of kick off like a national tour. So I expect to be in
Sweet.
Texas in March and then out to California in April, touring more of the Midwest in
When are you coming to
May,
Chicago?
and back to my roots of New England in June. So the record drops tail end of 2021, but I will definitely be out there singing these songs and celebrating my first full length album in 4 years, all summer long. It's gonna feel fresh.
When are you coming to Chicago?
I don't have any dates booked
Well,
yet, but stay
damn.
posted.
Who have you played here before?
I have. I actually lived in Chicago for 4 years. I went to college there, and
Oh, I think you knew
um,
that. I think I knew that. But wait, where'd you go?
yeah, I usually play Reggie's, is on the South Side, is like my sort of home away from home when I come back to Chicago, but I've played North Side, South Side, West Side. One of my first gigs was like the Blue Line almost all the way to O'Hare, and then just like walking to this random sketchy bar with my guitar. And I don't know, I think I've had guardian angels looking after me, because when I look back on my time in Chicago, I was a pretty wild child. Riding a old Schwinn, it was all rusted out with no helmet, no lights, just weaving in and out of traffic. Only had a few accidents.
Oh man, I love riding my bike in Chicago. I mean, it's kind of like playing Russian roulette. Gives you that little bit of a thrill when you're riding your bike in a big city like that. But well, that's cool. Well, I hope that you get this way at some point so we could hang out. That'd be a lot of fun.
It will be like meeting an old friend and also like meeting a celebrity. I started
Sweet.
taking acting classes in October of last year over the pandemic, and
Oh yeah.
seeing all these people on Zoom and having these really like intense emotional experiences and collaborating on projects, and then when I finally got to meet some of these other actors and, like, the teacher in person, it was just like, "Oh my god, you're real."
I know, it's really wild, isn't it? When you because I remember, yeah, pre-COVID, like, um, meeting in IRL, having somebody become an IRL friend, meeting them in real life, um, was always something that was it was cool when it happened or whatever, but once COVID hit, everybody became a digital friend, so and I have made I mean, I've said it before, uh, doing the program, I have made so many connections, with people in the last really like year or so. Yeah, my other phone actually has more, but like I tease my world clock on my iPhone used to just say like New York, Chicago, and Cupertino,
Mhm.
where Apple is. And and now it says, like, Los Angeles, London, Berlin, Paris, Stockholm, Lagos, Tehran, Singapore, Sydney, Tokyo, and, the other phone, he actually has a couple of more on there, and those are places that, I mean, at least once a week, I talk to most of the people in those, parts of the world, and sometimes, several times a day, depending on who the person is, so,
Wow.
it has just totally changed, and I am so stoked. I know you were in Europe on a little vacation recently, but when I've got the money and things open up for Europe, I just can't wait either. Just to go, from Helsinki to Barcelona to London to a couple of other places and just hang out with some friends. I'm just
Let's
super
go
stoked.
together. Do you need a
Yes, that would be
wingman?
cool. We could do some broadcasts too.
Sure, why not?
We could do some broadcasts. I definitely would really love, and I've talked about it before, to get a tour together with all of my friends that I've made here that are musicians on Haps, and put a little tour together sometime, and we could tour it around, and I could do a little show before the show or during the show, and we could hit. I think it'd be a lot of fun. So I definitely want to try and put that together at some point too. I think that'd be really cool.
For sure.
And we
It is
need
a beautiful thing to, you know, be connected to people all over, and I didn't know what Zoom was before the pandemic, but now it's just another cool way to communicate, stay in touch, and be connected.
right. It's pretty funny because we started out really Zoom heavy and all this, and now if it's a one-on-one meeting with somebody, I'm like, just I'm just gonna hit you up on Instagram. Let's just talk, if because my meetings don't tend to have like flow charts or that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? My meetings are kind
I
of
was
like this.
promised flowcharts. Where
but
are
hey,
they?
but hey, why don't you play a tune for us? Because you've been here for like 18 minutes, and I know that there are people that are going to be watching this that are going to want to hear your music. And Gary Hume says, "Hey, Kristen, can't wait for your new record tomorrow. Blessings from Scotland."
Oh, I love this. I love that. Well, I wanna play a song that, is the 2nd single off the record, and I just posted a teaser of the music video. The music video will probably be posting on Monday. We're just gonna try to keep the excitement going for
Woohoo!
the
Okay,
new
so
record.
wait, now tell me what this song is again. I was adjusting my weed.
Oh, don't tell the kids you're doing that.
I know.
This is, like, all shipping behind me. I'm turned into a little record label. I've got so many packages going out here,
You're
there,
your
and
own
everywhere. It's
fulfillment
been very
center.
exciting. But this song's called
Ooh.
"Broke, Stoned, and 23," and
Oh, and
I wrote
this
it
is a new one.
about. It's a new one, and
Woohoo!
it's currently streaming everywhere, and will be out along with the full-length record tomorrow. Um, but I wrote it about, a time in my life where I was broke, stoned, and 23, but I also was
Well,
really
I'm all of
free.
those, but I'm not 23.
Well, I think, like, that old saying, "The best of times, the worst of times."
Mhm.
I think sometimes you don't realize how much freedom you have and how open the whole world is for you when you're at a certain stage. And I wrote this when I was really between a rock and a hard place and just going through it relationship wise and feeling like I had promises that I was going to need to bail on and it was going to hurt and there was no way around it. And it's a shitty, terrible feeling to feel like you don't know how to possibly have a win-win or even
Right?
a win-lose. It's just lose, 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 and kind of
Lose.
being nostalgic for that freedom you get when you're just like in your super early 20s. This probably was when I was between Chicago and Western Mass. I had my first record deal, and like sometimes that's the freedom. But anyway, let me just play this.
We'll play that song and we'll
Shall
talk
we?
about it on the other side too.
Here we go. You are a storm cloud full of salty water, and even in the darkness, I was not to falter. I don't think of you as the enemy. I only wish that I was broke, stoned, and 23, holding on my best intentions. Can we do our best to just not mention it again? Are we done for, babe? But oh, do we have a good thing? I am a bundle of nerve endings. Can I help it if I like the beginning? I don't think of time as the enemy. I only wish that I was broke, stoned, and 23. Not trying to hurt nobody, holding all the best intentions. Are we done for, babe? But oh, do we have a good thing? When you were drowning, I kept my hands in my pockets. I kept my feet real dry. Your head underwater. You can count on me to change the subject. Maybe someday I'll blow you a line. I wish that I was broke and stoned and 23. I wish that I was all alone with nobody. You are a storm cloud full of salty water, and even in the darkness, I was not to falter. The earth is spinning around effortlessly. I only wish that I was broke, stoned, and 23. Woo! That was that song.
Bravo. Wow. That was really fun. Man, that was a really fun, I mean, depressing as fuck, but a really fun song. Which makes a good song. I'm never gonna let any of my musician friends down when I talk about the fact that if you were good at relationships, you'd be a shitty musician. You know what I mean? So I mean, what do you want? You can't have it both. You know what I mean? Like that's why back in the day,
free to relay that to my exes. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna get myself in trouble here, but I distinctly remember that I knew a guy that maybe worked in the music business, in the concert sound business, that there were rumors that sometimes people might be, let's say, oh, I don't know, excited to meet the band and might be willing to do crazy things, to get to, to meet the band. So that's the trade off when you're the rock star, Kristen, is, you know, your relationships, they're going to be shit, but you're going to get a lot of action because you're going to be popular, So, because
You know,
that
my
first
parents
time,
will probably watch this, right, at some point.
right? You
Oh,
probably that's probably what happened to Garth Brooks. When he had to retire, he's like, "Oh fuck, I love my wife. My life is going well. I got to get out of the music business because what the hell am I going to write about?" So, yeah, that was awesome. Kristen says, "Gary, I agree." And Joni Williams Ackerman is giving us 4 hand claps there. That's really cool as
whoop,
well.
whoop, whoop. What's up,
The
Joni? Huntsville, Alabama. Represent.
the the like, right? I mean, like, relationships are hard, and I mean, you have at least an outlet to and then there's the inevitable, huh? Like, what's this song? Oh, You're So Vain by Carly Simon, who is basically telling James Taylor, like, um, you fuck, just I like it when a musician is like in a relationship with another musician and then they break up and they both like make a song about how much they don't like that person anymore or
Is
whatever.
that song about James Taylor?
Yeah, the You're So Vain by Carly Simon is I think telling James Taylor that it's not about him, but I mean it has to be about him, right? I mean they have a relationship, so
Oh, well, that's actually one of the first songs that I learned on piano. Um, it's got some great chords.
You're So Vain.
Pretty simple. Yeah, pretty simple.
You're so vain. Yeah, it's a
I
beautiful
just hit
song.
I just hit, live over on Instagram if you wanna
Oh
join
yeah,
the
I was
video,
setting it up
and then
like,
I'll make you co-host.
all right, so what do I do? Do I have to find you on Insta?
It's kind of breaking my brain trying to be in both
I know, isn't
frames
that
right
funny?
now. Yeah, it's a
All right. I'm stoned, so I'll be able to figure it out.
you'll be right in there. That's great.
Yeah.
That song was called "Broke Stone" in 23. I mean, it's
Broke
literally
stoned
we
in
need
23.
a
I
weed
will take.
sponsor right away.
I don't.
Either
You know
that
what?
cryptocurrency to get on it.
I could
To
be.
get
Yeah, you can send
on
some
there.
Bitcoin. I would be okay with rich, stoned, and 55. Much better than I am poor, stoned, and 55. And ooh, it'd be hard to not just be 23 again, no matter what the circumstances were. Especially if I could maybe do it even better. But
Well, I don't know. I think it's a beautiful thing to uh, just have every day is a new day that we get to. So yeah, I think I see you on Instagram. You can just
I think I
say,
just requested to join.
Okay.
That'll be weird because we won't be able to. I had to turn the volume down, but oh yes, okay. Let's share it.
I know. I don't know how we do this. We're doing
I don't know. We're
something
just
so
having
new.
fun. The point is, if you're watching this, you're gonna have to turn that down. If you're watching
Okay.
this on Instagram, folks, what we want you to do is go to haps.tv, HAPPS.tv, and oh man, I can't turn the volume all the way down. Oh, I hate that about an
No,
iPhone.
you
Hang on.
can't. It's tough though. I don't know. Um, Haps is cool. It's streaming on all of these different platforms at the same time. And also think about how many friends you've made all across the world since
Oh my
starting
gosh. Yeah.
the podcast. It's really
No,
neat.
this show just has become it is just devolved into a Rev talks to his friends about all the cool things that's happened to Rev over the last year show lately because it's just that much fun. Like last night I had on Alex Wright, and Alex and I have been chatting, for months trying to get her on the show and kind of becoming friends, and just about everybody that I've had on the show, I've become friends with, and it's just really really neat. I mean, it's just a great way to make connections, like you said, and you connect fast and you connect deep, And then when you see them in real life, it's a very powerful thing.
I love it.
If you're watching
Um,
this on Instagram, you want to go to happs.tv. Just go there, then search for me, RevMac Live, and or Kristen Ford, and you'll find us, and you can watch the show, and that would be fun. If you want to
yeah.
send Bitcoin to Kristen Ford, hopefully she has her Cash App account in her bio or something, because you can send Bitcoin to, I don't know if you can to Venmo, but
Um, yeah, I accept crypto. I'll fuck with that. But yeah, I
oh,
don't
me
know if
too.
this Instagram is working. The delay is like really tripping me out. We might just
Is
say
it? Well, we can
bye.
stop. We can stop.
Okay. Well, we love you, Instagram. Goodbye.
Come see
We
us.
tried it out. Okay. Wow, I feel
All right.
much more present now.
Yeah,
Just
right.
one
It
more
can be a little
thing.
can be a little distracting. Hang on a second though, but I am gonna
I
just.
got the ADHD,
Well, I
Rev.
just got the ADD. I'm just one letter short, which for me that makes a lot of sense. If you talk to the people that think they know me, they would definitely agree with that statement. A little scary sometimes, the people that think they know you. Um,
I
what
do
is?
want to explore a concept with you
Mm-hmm.
during our time, which is like it's great to write love songs. It's great to celebrate that early feeling of um, elation or even meeting somebody at a club, catching eyes with them. And then we all have the sad songs and the breakup albums, like say Rumors from Fleetwood Mac, like that's an amazing record.
Right.
Um, but it's hard to know how do you celebrate a collection of sad songs?
How do you?
Or like
Oh,
how do you celebrate these are maybe sad subjects, but they're going to make you feel happy when you listen to them.
well, yeah. I mean, look, I talked about it the other night too, or was tweeting about it. And Freya Banks on Instagram, because I flipped my Instagram on because I want people to find this. It won't distract me. I will check my inbox. I appreciate you sending me a message. The what is there's that song? Oh no, wait a minute. Now I got off. Wait. There are times when we all need to share the little things. Tired of the rough spots. Ba, 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 ba. Wait. Uh, it's about sad songs. It's a song about sad songs, and yeah, to me, it's a lot like comedy. Um, Comedy's a lot of times self-deprecating or deprecating.
Mhm.
Most jokes are not, you know, funny in a feel good kind of way. They're funny in kind of a gut punch kind of way a lot of
Right,
times. So,
right.
um, I mean, man, just yeah, I mean, sad songs are that's the that's music. It's you get sad songs, you get happy songs, and I mean, I would think that I don't know over at least in modern times, it'd be interesting if somebody had the data on whether happy songs or sad songs make it to number one, more often than not. That'd be
Oh,
actually
I am really curious about that. I bet there's some data on it. Maybe someone can Google it who's streaming this, who feels like they want to be our fact checker for the show.
there you go.
Have at it.
Um, Ms. Christine says I was just listening to Gray Sky Blue on Spotify. Even better live. Chat.
Ooh.
All right.
Hey, love Miss Christine. She's a badass bass player
Oh
and
yeah.
singer-songwriter and has sometimes played in my band, but
Oh
has moved to
well,
Iowa, and so that's a complication seeing as I am indeed in Nashville.
I am
What are you doing,
pretty
Kristen?
partial
What
to
are you doing?
badass musicians and badass bass players if they ever want to come on the show and play, you know?
Ooh,
So
we'll see.
we always have a night or two free once in a while.
Yeah.
Um, what's your favorite? I mean, I know what my favorite part of not being famous is, which is all of the adoration, But what's your favorite part about like I may have asked this before, but it's just I don't even know. I don't like favorites, but like you're a writer, you're a singer, you're a producer, you're a roadie, you're a manager. You know what I mean? Like, and when you get started in this business and you do so many things, and we were talking about our friend Chris Angeles. She's an amazing musician and a wonderful human being, and actually a pretty good business person as well. Actually, a really good business person, and very successful at that. And what is your like? What's your favorite thing? I mean, I'm guessing maybe just gigging in a honky tonk somewhere in the middle of nowhere with a good crowd, and um,
I think I am really blessed to like hired a publicist. I'm not blessed because I hired a publicist, but maybe so. But
well,
it was
worship what you
called
want,
Agency
Kristen.
33 right after I released the EP prior to this album, the last thing I came out with. And in my bio it was like, Kristen's done X, Y, and Z. She's toured here and there and worked with this and that and supported these organizations. And sometimes reading your own bio, it's like, oh wow, this is an amazing life. I'm so fucking blessed. Like I've traveled all over the world, and sometimes I've done it to get paid and sometimes I've done it for free, and I've had a lot of fun singing on the streets of uh you know
Berlin or
Dundalk,
something.
Ireland, and I've had a lot of fun playing big pride stages for 100,000 people. And it's like when the pandemic hit, I was pretty burnt out and pretty tired on gigging so much, and like you said, doing all of the things. And I think now that things are opening back up, and I really took a big break between records to not just let's not just keep doing the same thing that I've done over and over and over again and expect different results, but like trying to go about it from a much more thoughtful place. And what kind of band do I want to present? What kind of show do I want to put on? It feels like a total privilege, and it's just fucking amazing to get to go and play played balls and Bowling Green, and it was one of those clubs that's like doesn't exist in time. It could be any decade, and it's that particular place where like Cage the Elephant got their big start. And like I'm open to all things, and I also am aware, since I have been getting pretty hard for close to 15 years now, that I don't want to just like kill myself with this. I would like to work with people I want to work with, make the kind of music I want to make, get to have experiences that are amazing, be in places that I enjoy. And I don't know what's going to happen, but I got to tell you, like, I'm selling the shit out of this vinyl in advance and
That's
shipping
awesome.
out packages to Canada and Spain and Germany and states all over and Alaska. It makes me feel really good. It makes me feel like, yeah, I'm fucking making a go at this. Like,
Right.
let's see what happens.
Well, that's awesome. Miss Christine again confirms that you're a badass, and that's awesome. The I think I talk about this too. I have so many working professionals that are on the program that I've become well acquainted with their work. People that run sound stages at movie studios, and who direct music videos for top tier bands, and make feature films and stuff. So the the success that one can have in music or in film doesn't have to, especially today, doesn't have to make you a household name. You don't have to be known the world over. That might be cool, but you don't have to be known the world over to make a go at it and to make a living. An example I use a lot is a Chicago musician named Nick Tremulous, who I got to know over the years. We shot a little thing with him and um, Smashing Pumpkins and stuff back in the '90s. That was called the first waltz, I think. But anyway, it was a celebration of the last waltz, and the band around that. And Nick he had one hit in the 80s, and I mean that definitely helped, but after that, he's he's gigged out, probably every weekend since he had that hit until, I mean, God, he's got to be 10 years older than me. I know he's still gigging, but, um, and made a really good living, has a nice family, a nice house, a nice life. You know what I mean? He's a successful,
Right.
musician, who makes a pretty good penny every time he gigs out. And, most people couldn't tell you who Nicholas Tremulous is. I've never heard of him. So, you're carving a place out for yourself, and that's really cool. And that is even what I was talking about. Sounds like you're kind of getting the business side of the business down too. That's what's really hard for me doing this, like trying to focus on being creative and making however many insane reels I need to make a day, you know what I mean? And booking people to be on the show, and all the things that are involved in the creative side of what I'm trying to do. And we're writing a reality show. I'm
Fun.
helping produce this. I'm doing all this kind of stuff, but that's all kind of in the creative side. But the shit, I got to pay this bill. Ooh, I need this. I got to do that. I got to learn how to do that, from the business side, and then how those things merge together with social media. And that shit is hard. It's a lot of work. So, that you are getting it figured out is awesome, because it really, it takes more than just raw talent and drive these days, to make it. You also got to kind of know, you also got to kind of be a wizard of business as well. So maybe people want an MBA and an MFA to make it
Mm,
in the music
yeah,
business.
for sure. I also think like I started waiting tables recently. Well, I guess in June, and it felt like, am I failing that I'm taking on a day job because I had just done music solely as my way of making money for the last 8 years. But um, I've actually found that it's kind of fun. Like with the pandemic, I felt like a lot of just being in one room, you turn on the computer, you do your work, you shut the computer, you're still at home. Did you do anything? Like it's kind of nice to get to go to work, interact with coworkers, interact with customers, and come home and have made money. And it's not something that you have to plan in advance. It's not something you're wondering, oh, maybe I won't get paid anything tonight if there's a bad
Hmm.
turnout, or the promoter decides to bail on something, they're into the agreement or whatever. And also, though, like 8 years ago when I was a server, that was very much like a thing I was ashamed of. Like if I could just make it in music, if I could just get my break, then it
Hmm.
would be okay, and I would be okay. And I view it now very much more as just like the whole picture of like, if I know that I can work 1, 2, 3 days a week and make X amount of money, then I can pay this videographer to do this cool thing. Or I
Yeah,
can know
right.
that
I
I
mean,
can pay my
it,
band, and I'm not super concerned about how is this one specific show going to go down. And so in that way, it doesn't feel like a step back. It actually just feels like a supplement. And also
yeah,
maybe
well,
that
you're
just provides
investing in yourself,
security.
right? I mean,
Yeah, I'll be like,
people
I don't
obviously
fucking
people
care.
work because we all need to invest in ourselves because we need a place to live and all those things. But I mean, you really are, you're putting it right back into what you're doing. And I would say that, even, some people that people might consider, pretty successful in the entertainment world, sometimes, as comedians and stuff like that, they keep their day jobs and stuff like that too, because, there's a lot of reasons to kind of keep those things going, at least to a certain level. At a certain point, obviously it gets tough, but I would totally understand your reference frame change from the, oh, almost maybe the shame of being a server, wanting to be the musician, and then being able to transition and say, hey, you know what, I'm doing this, I'm making it, and if I can, pick up another $100 a week, and that 400 translates into, paying for the videography for a new music video. I mean, then, you just invested back into your business. So I think that's a really good way to look at it. I want to get back to your question though, because you said you wanted to explore this a little bit about music and love songs, right?
Hmm.
Give me the question again because
Well,
I got us
it's
off
like
track.
you can celebrate, uh, I think a lot of take WAP, right? Like
Yeah,
that wet ass pussy. Dun, dun, dun,
right.
dun. It's like it's
Have you
just
heard the
feeling
radio
good.
edit?
It's celebration. Sorry, I hope it's okay to cuss on here
Oh,
a little
you
bit.
can. Yeah, you can
Is the
swear.
P
No worries
word a
about it.
cuss? I don't know. But
Well, I
anyway,
don't think
that's
wet. Yeah, wet ass pussy is fine. I mean, it's
it is.
real. It happens. You know.
But that's a celebratory song. That's a song you want to play at the club with your friends. Or like I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan.
Oh yeah.
And him and Quincy Jones just like crafted songs that make you feel good. They make you want to move. They're just like infectious. And yet there are songs like Ani DeFranco has a song called Gray, and I remember listening to it in high school when I was just like so depressed and I like didn't know I was gay and I was like all these hormones and like shit sucked. And just like having that sad song to latch onto, it made it okay. And
Yeah.
I think
That's
this album's called War in the Living Room, which is like, it's about the battles that we have within our own family units. And I think, especially with everyone dealing with the pandemic and lockdown, it was definitely a make or break for a lot of relationships, probably more to the break end of the
well.
spectrum.
That's funny when you're talking about music. I use this one a lot too. It's when I'm really depressed, I just whip out the Smiths because
Yeah,
nobody's life is worse than Morrissey's. I mean, like I could have the worst fucking day and girlfriend in a coma. Like, how fucked up do you have to be mentally even to write that song, Morrissey? I love, I mean, seriously. Forget that the song is fucked up. That you wrote the song is really fucked up,
right.
dude. But it's a very catchy tune, and so there's the Smiths, and then I also love when I was homeless. Oh, I had so many wild things that happened to me when I was homeless, and one of the things, the stories that I do not really ever tell, whether I'm on the lecture circuit or even being interviewed about when I was homeless. But when I was homeless, man, I had a cell phone that was paid for by my ex-wife, and it got me. Uh, it helped me do amazing things, on Twitter long before they had crowdfunding and stuff to help people and even help myself. But I was still swiping right on OK Cupid. You know what I mean? I was homeless and I would still go on a fucking date. You know what I mean? Because lonely's lonely, right? And I actually had a very short fling, honestly, with somebody. Let's just say they had a lot of money compared to my homelessness, but it, they turned me on to Fiona Apple, and the first song is called "On the Bound." I can't remember the name of the album; it's a long title, but I listened to that, and I mean, you know, there's some depressing stuff in there, and yet it is so powerful. You know what I mean? I know every one of those songs and can feel it, from that album weave kind of in and out of me, and the power of that. It helped me. You know what I mean? I still today. Now there is a piece of music by a, uh, a a a composer. It's called. Dharma at Big Sur. A beautiful piece of music. It's got an electric violin. It's gorgeous.
Mm,
But I was also listening to that at the time that I was homeless, and it was a very powerful piece for me. But I couldn't listen to it for years because it was just too hard, to even to handle. And even today, I love the piece of music, but it can be really difficult because it really represents a lot of where my head was when I was homeless. But the Fiona Apple, man, I mean, if I'm feeling down, I just go listen to that music, and I'm like, I know
mm,
where I went to where I came, and that those songs were with me. And so, yeah, I mean, what you do when you sing and you create those songs, Kristen, and all the musicians that do this well, is you're transforming us with your words inside of us, right? We're taking what you've said and we're kind of putting it back out into a way that we feel. So it's a beautiful thing to be able to share, a connection between you and I on this program, or in Instagram or whatever, but to be able to share a connection with people that you've created music for them, that's just a beautiful thing.
Well, I'm so happy to hear that you are not on the streets anymore, and
Yeah, it was a long time ago, but
that's that's a wild ride, though, and I also think that, like, I just see problems in society, and I just wonder, like, why aren't we doing more to just do the right thing and help people, and, I think by telling your story and fucking thriving, you can't help anybody when you're down, when you have nothing to give anyone, you can't even take care of yourself, but, like, you go and you live your best life and you follow your dreams and you're thriving, now you're in a position to, like, change people's mindsets or, like, help things get better, and I don't know, I'd be curious, what do you think as someone who was for a while, like, unhomed,
mhm.
what can we do for people experiencing homelessness, like, now?
Well, the solutions are easy. The will is what's difficult, right? The political will, the societal will, but we're getting closer and closer because Chicago now has instituted. They're spending $31 million to give 5,000 people $500 a month. So ostensibly, the poorest 5,000 people in Chicago are going to get a UBI payment of $500 a month. I'm hoping some of those folks are homeless. I'm not sure how that program is going to roll out, but it's good news. And the thing is that with homelessness, if you're couch surfing, especially if you're a mom and a dad and some kids and living at somebody else's house, or a relative's house, and you can't, pay the rent, or you can't, even if you could pay the rent, can't get a place, because you've been evicted or something, you're homeless. So the people that are on the street homeless that we think of as homeless, that's a big percentage of people, but it's actually a fairly small percentage compared to all the sum total of people that are homeless. And I think that given given the ideas around culture and society and the direction that we're going with, um, from BIPOC to LG LG. I'm too stoned here. You know what I'm saying? Um,
LGBTQIA plus.
LGBTQIA. Um, issues and all of that, then I mean, I think we're really a part of us anyway, are really kind of trying to look at how things, are different. And some of those people that are doing it are actually people with some influence and some money. So to end homelessness for the majority of people, it's just going to really take accepting that people have issues with drugs and alcohol, and that requiring them to fix that before they can get into, like, special housing or something like that is just not the way to do it. You want to get them into a home first, give them some stability, and then kind of get them off the drugs or whatever, or they may even get off the drugs themselves. But we first thing we really have to be able to do as a society is still say, though, that there are a percentage of people that are just going to be in a home and they will never work. They will, they may stay addicts, and they may have to be kind of guided through, life, and maybe, and paid a little bit more attention to, but they deserve to have a home. You know what I mean? Everybody deserves to have a home. So I think we really are moving towards this housing first model, and it is coming where I think we're getting really close with veterans, and there are fewer and fewer, and I do know a couple still, and it's really troubling because it's really been difficult to get them into some place. But we're doing much better with veterans not being homeless. So I think we're getting there, but really it would just be taxing the rich. Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. If you dig into my Twitter feed deep enough today, I went on an Elon Musk Jeff Bezos rant for a few tweets. Because you take the 800 wealthiest people in America, you tax all of their assets at 50%, and they still have $3.5 billion each. And nobody needs $3.5 billion ever. So, and 50% tax, is never going to happen, but 25% tax could, on billionaires and all their assets. And that kind of stuff would make a big difference because we could free up money to do things, that need to be done. So yeah, homelessness is, I've got a friend, Mark Horvath, who helped me. He was homeless, and he's in L.A. and um, was in the entertainment industry and helped me when I was homeless. We were speaking. We met in New York when we were speaking at the 95th Street Y, um, and yeah, we're getting there. But just give everybody a home. Give
Yeah,
everybody. Um, Nobody should have to have. Everybody should have a roof, a floor, heating, cooling, food, and healthcare. Everybody. Just you don't have to do anything for it other than being born on the whole planet. All those things should be covered. Beyond that, if you want a bigger house, I mean, I'm an anti-capitalist, no doubt about it. But I got to live in the capitalist system, right? And it is what it is. So beyond that, little bit of non-capitalism. If you want a bigger house, yeah, I mean, work hard, get lucky, become a rocket ship, builder, Elon Musk guy, whatever you want to be. But give everybody, 3 square meals a day, a hardwood floor, a roof, some insulation, some heating, some cooling, and healthcare. I mean, it's possible. It's possible. There's enough wealth in the world to do that for everybody. So
for sure. Well, I think that's, I don't know, just good to kind of take people out of the shadows of assuming that it's one sort of thing, or just get a job, or like whatever. It's
hey,
I just feel also really like I'm someone who goes and asks people to listen to my music, or to purchase my music, or to watch a film that I'm in, or like whatever. Like it's um it's a place of privilege, and we just want to see like everybody doing well. I want to
yeah, I
see
mean,
everybody that wants
people
to
get
start playing guitar to start playing guitar. We have so many more songs, and we don't need as many farmers these days. So
well, at a certain point, whether that's 25, 50, or 75 years from now, the majority of jobs will be automated. Um, and so that means the majority of people on the planet will not be able to get a job. And we need to really start thinking about that now. But there are countries, is it Holland? I think that I think it's Holland. Maybe it's the Netherlands. Um, maybe it is in the Netherlands, where basically if you're an artist, because their tax structure is so crazy over there. If you can call yourself an artist, right? You know what I mean, a painter, and the state will just pay you to be a painter, even if your paintings are terrible. But I mean, but but what's cool about that to me is if they'll pay you to be a musician, and they're paying 9 musicians that are really terrible musicians, but you get one good musician out of it, and that musician gigs out and plays and grows the economy. I mean, that's a good thing. So we can really look at things differently. We don't have to, I'm no economist, I'm no historian, but I know the word feudalism and capitalism kind of, abut each other in history. So, um, we can think different, and I think we are, and I'm really excited about the generations now, I guess, that are behind me that are starting to see that we don't have to think the same way as everybody else. There's this really wild little thing that's happening right now where people are quitting their jobs, like in numbers higher than ever before. Now, my assumption is, um, well, some of those people are quitting their jobs because there are women, especially, that have to stay home, right? To be with their kids or whatever. But and even men, but also some of them I think are probably still kind of can do that and transitioning to other things. But people are actually saying, "Hey, I fucking hate my job, and I don't want to do that anymore." You know what I mean?
yeah,
Um, that's a privilege, because most people do probably hate their job because a lot of jobs are crappy. But if we're kind of getting to the point where people are saying, hey, I don't want to be a fucking bagger at the grocery store, even for $15 an hour because I have to risk my life, or it sucks. And they're trying to find, an alternative, that people are saying, we need to be valued more as service industry workers. Those movements, they're coming, and the good news is all those old fuckers that control this shit, oh, they're dying every day. So, I mean, new blood, that's how humanity works, out with the old, in with the new. And I think the new is much more informed than we've ever been before. Is it perfect? No. Is it going to happen overnight? No. But I feel like we're on a good path.
Hell yeah.
Want to play a song?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So this song, I did a song. The first one was recorded in Minneapolis.
Oh, hang on one second. Hang on, because we're going to do a quick wrap of the show because so I can pop this up on Instagram at some point. So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Revolution McInnes. This has been the big interview with the incomparable Kristen Ford, and she has got a new album out. Yes, album. That's a thing with a lot of songs in it. You don't always hear about those things so much anymore, as opposed to singles being released, which is actually a very popular format these days, especially for singer-songwriters. The album is called
War in the Living Room.
War in the Living Room. So, Kristen Ford, find her on Instagram, War in the Living Room. We'll see you, folks. Thanks for watching. Peace be with you, and namaste. And we're back. And I'll try to cut that all together and put us on top of each other for the Instagram.
I love seeing the sausage get made. It's great.
Yeah.
So anyway, the first song I played was recorded in Minneapolis, and this next song was a Nashville co-write, which that's sort of a Nashville thing. You get together with friends and write a song. So there's a bunch of writers on this team.
I've heard about those co-writes.
Yeah, it's the thing. And this was recorded in Massachusetts, produced by Gene Millington. So this song's called Lock Up My Heart. You and I've been friends since we were 17. Never more than a kiss between you and me. Keep it casual, never cross that line. Why do I got butterflies? Knowing I'm gonna see you tonight. I will never be yours, you will never be mine. Sorry, darling, but it's just not what I'm looking for. You'll never be mine, so I gotta lock up my heart, throw away the key. My baby's so much counting on me. Lock up my heart, throw away the key. My baby's so much counting on me. You held my keys just a little too long. Was it me or were you coming on strong? You can put your hands all over me, but I go home to hurry now. Lose a little sleep. Oh, you will never be mine. I will never be yours. I'm sorry, darling, but it's just not what I'm looking for. You'll never be mine, so I gotta lock up my heart, throw away the key. My baby's so much counting on me. Lock up my heart, throw away the key. My baby's so much counting on me. So fine, so fine. Just when I wasn't looking. So fine. Keep myself on straight and the narrow. Just when she's making it hard, she's making it hard for me. Keep myself on straight and the narrow, but you're making it hard. Ooh. Ooh. Across past lives, you've been in my dreams. Let's make a little space for you and me. You can put your hands all over me. We can learn to fly, fly away tonight. Oh, I will never be yours. You will never be mine. I'm sorry, darling, but you're looking way too fine tonight. I will never be yours, so I gotta lock up my heart, throw away the key. My baby's so mad, she counting on me. Lock up my heart, throw away the key. My baby's so mad, she's counting on me. Oh, I think you're muted there, friend.
Yeah. Hey, I haven't done that in a while.
Hey,
That was fun. Oh my
thanks.
goodness. Um,
Couple jazz chords, you know. Just
yeah.
mix it
How
up.
did you when did you first pick up the guitar? How old were you?
I was 14, and I would say I did not take it super seriously at first. It's also it sucks to be terrible at an instrument. It's not that much fun to play when you're really bad because you know it. Um,
Well, I'm very good at knowing how it sucks to be bad at an instrument because I can't play for diddly.
but yeah, I it's interesting. I recently got into acting, which was like my first passion. I went to performing arts high school, and my goal was to be an actress, but I wound up getting pretty discouraged with the whole acting world and not really sure if I really vibed with like theater people, like
Hmm.
I'm a little bit more of the like stoner, like hang out outside class than like early to class, sit in the front row type person. And
Oh well, you just need
so
to
I
find a different theater company.
but anyway, I picked up guitar and I really enjoyed that like if I liked a song, I could play it as many times as I wanted. There was no like, okay, the run of 2 weekends is over, you can't ever play that song again. Which it's like that when you work on a theater production and it goes up and then after it's done, you have to tear it down and it's over and that really bummed me out. And then um yeah, just using music as a means of expression and just falling more and more in love with music. I actually went to college for music business because I was like, I need to have a backup plan. And then
Yeah,
on a
that's
trip
good.
to New Zealand, I had visited my brother in between semesters my sophomore year of college, and I brought a little backpacker guitar and was playing music around New Zealand. And I think it's just such a beautiful country, and it was my first time abroad, and it's such a beautiful experience to be in a different country that I was just like, I don't want to be a business person. I don't want to have a backup plan. I want to do music. I want to do this. And in September, I was part of a film called Valentine Crush, which is like a roller derby horror movie. I did a few songs for the soundtrack, which we actually just won Best Use of Music for an Original Film for this St. Louis Film Festival. So that's cool. Won in
Awesome.
Sundance, but we're gonna work up to that. But I also had some lines, and I was skating, and I had stunts, and I just had this epiphany on camera that I was like, I want to be an actor. So after all of this time, I'm now bringing it sort of full circle where I'm working as an actor, I'm working as a musician, and I really appreciate you kind of had talked about how you don't have to be famous to actually earn a living and be like chipping out your way. And I'm just much more appreciative of the paying gigs that I do get for music and when people hit me up and when I can tell that something's a fishy deal or I'm not really interested in working with someone. Um, like it does feel like okay, yeah, I've built a life in music and I already have a lot of momentum going, but I feel brave enough to say, let me try to be an actor. Like, let's see what that's about. Cause that was like the OG dream. And
Hmm.
now I'm just bold enough to fucking go for all of it. I would like to win a Grammy and an Emmy. That would be very
Mm.
nice.
Well, then you got the Oscar and the Tony, and you can complete the EGOT there. Although, do you have to do it in order? I don't know, man. maybe for an actual EGOT. Maybe I have to do it in order: Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony. But I think in any
No,
order.
there's no
No,
way
I
you
don't think so
all
either.
4 of those, and they're like, "You don't get the EGOT."
Can we? So looks like we have a troll. So I feel two of them actually. So I feel privileged. The the hours and hours and hours of practice. When did that start? How old were you?
I don't know, I think I've been a mix of having studied with teachers and learned, uh, like, technically how to play music, in a structured way, and then a lot of just getting more experiences and playing with more people and doing the thing, and
So I
for
guess
a
what I meant
large
was, did that start when you were like you said you started when you were 14, but like when did it really become serious? I guess for you,
I would
in the
say,
sense,
maybe when I was, like, 19, that's when I got a fake ID, first of several fake IDs.
so you could
They
play.
kept getting
Yeah.
taken away, damn it! Uh, like, when I got, the ability to get into clubs and start playing, and, I started playing 100 shows a year, which I've pretty much done since 2008,
That's a lot.
with a minor break for the old global pandemic, but that's a lot of hours on stage, and that's a lot of hours of playing, and then also playing and practicing aren't really in the same realm. Studio is Making recordings is such an amazing way to practice too, because you really have to look at yourself. I sometimes compare it to like trying on clothes that don't fit you under fluorescent lighting in a mirror all day recording, because it's like this is what you do, this is who you are, and um yeah, but it's just such a joyful journey to like keep growing and keep learning and seeing what is it that I'm inspired to do, and like let's do it.
Well, I love that the the big takeaway for me in all of this that I've been doing here over the last year or so, almost, I suppose, and especially making such great connections with musicians and creatives and actors and everything, is that the ones that put in the work, put in the time. Yeah, I mean, you got to have the talent. I mean, that you do. I mean, there are plenty of less talented people that are more famous than more talented people, and there's a lot of reasons that that can happen. But I mean, you still have to have a basic, baseline amount of talent. But really, just digging in like you've done, and saying, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to achieve, and working hard towards it. It's huge, because even in my little world here, my tiny little world of doing this, I don't have to choose. I can be a little picky now who can be on, who can be on the program, because most people, I know what level of people to ask that will say yes. Do you know what I mean? Like I've kind of
Mhm.
figured that out. And so I push those limits a little bit, but I mean, I can find people, to be on the show, and I need to. I've just had so much else going on. But the point is I can choose a little bit now. And so I'm not saying that if I ask you to be on the show, you're being anointed in any way. But like, if I get to know you and nobody's yeah, nobody's else is asking you to be on a show. Do you know what I mean? Nobody else is kind of helping you to do this, because I mean, I tend to be there for people afterwards, right? And stay in communication and promote their stuff and all that kind of stuff. It's what I'm about. But if but I just it amazes me how many people that have talent and they don't text you back, or they don't they get the dialogue going, and then they cancel. Everybody can cancel. I mean, I'm not freaking some network or anything. It's fine, we can reschedule. But that will just kind of fade away. And before, I used to kind of chase them a little bit, and be like, hey, come back, come back, come back, because I think you're really talented. But now it's like, I'll chase you a little, but after that, I let people go now. And it's you got to have the drive. I mean, having the passion to make music isn't the same as having the passion to do it. You know what I mean? Like, even there's a lot of people, and nothing wrong with it. There are a lot of people that write songs and probably have written some of the most beautiful songs that we never hear because they don't have the I want to perform thing, or nobody ever sees the music. But you've got like so many of the great friends and musicians that I've met on here. You've got the desire and the drive and the talent, and you've really come a long way in terms of, I know, your touring that you did in Europe. I know, that you just told us that you've been gigging out at 100 shows a year. I used to every weekend, I don't know, from the time I was 18 until probably close to my late 20s anyway. There'd be a band or somebody that, would call me. I had some regular gigs, but would call me at the last minute and say, "Hey man, can you do the audio, the sound, or can you, fetch,
Mhm.
tote and carry, pick up some shit for us and help us set up or whatever." And I would spend you know, a lot of evenings doing that. And, it, you gotta you gotta just be like, shit, I'm gonna pick up that bag and I'm gonna go to the next gig and I'm gonna sing again. And then I gotta get that guy that gave me that gig and ask him, hey, who else do you know in this town that might want to hear my music next time I swing back by? I mean, you gotta be constantly just working, working, working. And I really have just been so excited that I've gotten to know you and gotten to know your music here, and seeing what you're doing, even promoting yourself on social media. So you got to come to Chicago. We got to make that
Oh, I
happen.
will. I will.
I mean,
I
come
love.
here when the weather's nicer.
Oh yeah, you can enjoy winter. I will not be seeing you before May, probably.
Yes,
All
yes.
you.
Wait until the weather's nicer. But come play up here in Chicago. I think that would be a lot of fun. And Chicago's a great theater town, a music town. What do you what do you see yourself like? Are you trying to find? Well, no, no, no. I want to back it up. The short you were talking about, the short film. Yeah, the short film. What's the name of it?
Well, it's actually a feature-length film. It's called Valentine
Oh,
Crush. Actually, if you hold on, I think I can show you a movie poster. No, I can't. It's too hard to take it down. I'm gonna
no
destroy it
worries.
or
But I mean,
something.
is this
But yeah,
can
so
is this still on the festival circuit, or is
it
it
is
for
still on
public?
the festival circuit, and I think it's actually playing today at a festival in Buffalo, New York.
So
But
when they come off the festival circuit,
mhm.
you know, let me know, and I'd be happy to. We can do a whole show around the film.
Oh, I love
Um,
that.
you
That would be
know, um, we've done that for several actors and filmmakers and stuff like that. The reason that But no, it's actually a feature though, so I couldn't show it anyway. Like if it were
great.
short, so it won't matter. The festivals won't mind. So yeah, honestly, from now until whenever, open offer. Just bring anybody you want. We can show a trailer or something and talk about the film, and
Cool.
and it'd be cool. Maybe talk about the music angle and the award and all that kind of stuff too. So, talk to your peeps, and if they want to do it, I'm always open.
Well, I think you mentioned that's first of all, thank you. That's a really generous offer. I'll definitely be in touch about it. But you mentioned on like, okay, it's about playing the gig and then it's about like following through and thinking to text this person at this time and this and that. And I think for a while I was really in the mindset of like, you just need to work harder, you just need to grind more, you just need to like be more on it. And that's honestly like really tiring and not that much fun. And I'm I'm like recently like very into the law of attraction and just trying to think about following my bliss. And if it becomes inspired action where you think, oh, I should hit up Rev, get on his show. It's not this terrible to-do list that you never get done. It's just like, oh, I was inspired to reach out to my friend and we had the connection. And then a lot of times it's like that thing of, oh, that's crazy that you texted me. I was just thinking about you.
Hmm.
And I think that is using leverage, rather than using force, It's like, don't lift the car up, like, get the jack and just like, whenever you're ready to do a little bit at your passion here, a little bit there. And it's been interesting approaching acting, in my 30s. I haven't gone to theater school or conservatory or lived in LA or New York or Atlanta or one, However, I just feel like I'm super open and excited and eager, and even within the first year of me deciding that I wanted to act, I worked with Samuel L. Jackson on an Apple
Wow.
TV show. I've been in a full-length feature film. I've produced and acted in a short film for the Nashville 48 Hour Film Fest that was I'm pleased with what we came out with, but the audio is a little crazy, so I'm hoping that we can do, like, voiceovers, so I feel a little bit better about releasing it, but, oh my god, does it deepen your understanding of what it takes to pull off a film, to try to, like, make one yourself, and, um, to actually go everyone thinks they know how to act because you all watch TV or movies, but to actually, like, get into a scene study class and try to, like, feel something authentically and have lines come out of your mouth. I was also cast in a TV show in Atlanta that we filmed 9 episodes. I was one of the, like, main 4 leads, and what I'm learning about the acting business is sometimes things can fall apart in terms of the creators or the people with the money, or the contracts can break down, or you can have, just something can fall apart in any way. And as an actor, it's not really on you. You did your part, you learned your lines, you showed up, you acted, you did your thing. But it's a little different with music where, gosh, in addition to like enjoying that the phone rings and the emails come in and I get paid for things, I can have a lot of control. I could record something tonight on my computer, on my with my, microphones I have in my house and instruments I have here, and I could release it globally, and I can have complete control. And you cannot do that if you want to make a movie or a short film or a TV show. It's such a collaborative art, and I'm just, um, interested to see what can happen. I'm just like down to keep
Well, I mean,
learning.
I'm excited. I'm excited for you. I didn't know you had embarked on this path of acting. I will definitely connect you with a couple of people
I love
that
that. I love
um
it.
I, last night Alex Wright, um if you get the chance, kind of skip through that a little bit, to the acting parts, because she's an amazing acting teacher and dialect coach, and I mean, I say it on the show, and I have had some amazing actors um, on my program, and and a couple of my close friends are really good, but Alex Wright's better. You know what I mean? It's just, I mean,
Mm,
I can love you as a friend, but I mean, like, she's definitely the best actor that I've ever interviewed, and probably, all you gotta do is watch her, what do they call those self tapes?
mhm.
I mean, I was telling her I was watching one of her self tapes, and it was a scene where she's a tree hugging, like, terrorist. She goes from an innocent, kind of young woman hiking in the woods to, holding a forest ranger, at gunpoint or whatever. And I mean, it's just a really marvelous transition to watch her make. And if you watch some of her clips and stuff, like on Chicago PD, or she was on This Is Us, and that kind of stuff, like,
Oh wow.
she's a day player. So she comes in for the day, and is, like um the main theme, right? The mom with the kid that's got, whatever or whatever, and she's that night's kind of main character or whatever I don't know what they call that, but she's just really good. And so definitely I will connect you with her.
Sweet.
And I think there are a couple of other people too that I would think would be fun for you to know. And you know it sounds like you're doing stuff, so you might get out in LA once in a while too.
Yeah, actually, I was just recently put in contact with a producer who's in LA and has worked with some bigger name people, and I just love feeling like the future's wide open, and it's not that hard to get on a flight, direct flight, 3 hours from here to LA, and you can work with X, Y, and Z. And my band, the Blue Jays, are producers in LA, so we've been meaning to get back out there. I have a friend who just put a couple Kristen Ford songs in her film, Maybe Someday, that's about to hit the festival circuit. And,
Sweet.
it's like, yeah, this IRL internet thing is so cool. We can just do it all. And um, I think it's also like I'm someone who has a lot of ideas and can be a little bit lax on the follow through. So for me, releasing this record on vinyl, CD, digital, um, fulfilling like a $20,000 Kickstarter, going on tour, having a band, releasing music videos along with the record, like it's I'm ready to breathe a big sigh of relief
Mm-hmm.
that I have like followed through. This is
Well,
a real thing. Like I
you
could keep
followed through
writing
well.
songs in my room, but this is like gonna be a complete idea.
Well, that's
And
fantastic.
hopefully
And
I
it
give
got
it
me
the best
thinking
chance.
because if you're going to start acting and you do start to get some gigs in the West, and I still really would like to do a tour with you and Chris and a bunch of people if we can put that together. But with the LA folks that I know, maybe we could do our own little festival on a
Ooh,
Saturday,
that sounds
you
fun.
know, in the summer and have, our five favorite bands or something gigging out and promote that. And that would be a lot less expensive to produce than, a consistent kind of tour at first. So
Sure.
yeah, that'd be really fun. And I think we could do that for a reasonable amount of money. It wouldn't be cheap, but it wouldn't be crazy expensive either. So it's just a matter of getting the location and the gear, the sound reinforcement gear. Renting that for the day wouldn't be crazy. Getting a stage and that kind of stuff. So I think you froze up on me. Are you still there?
Sorry, I'm still here. I
Oh,
was just looking at the chat. I hadn't looked at the chat. Looks like
we've got,
it
I
went
feel
a little
special.
off
We've got,
the rails. Are you guys even listening? There's a
yeah, I
quiz
think they think
winner.
they were in a different,
Come
I think,
on.
hey, there you go.
um,
There's somebody now. Look at the comments.
I know. Well, I told you, don't be saying crazy sexual stuff on here because my parents might watch
Did I
it.
say crazy sexual stuff?
I mean,
I say.
I'm not gonna. No, I don't know. But I will say, if
You're
I
the
can
one.
just
You
quickly
use those
plug,
three letters.
is it okay to
Um,
plug something here?
oh heck yeah. Plug
Like in
away.
Carrie, where they're screaming, they're like chanting in the shower, like plug it up, plug it.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm in a strange mood tonight. Um,
That's okay. No, you're not. You're in
my
a Kristen Ford mood,
entire
which is a fun
album.
mood.
Oh, sorry.
No, I said you're in a Kristen Ford mood, which is a fun mood.
Usually.
Yeah, no,
My
good to
entire
know.
record, which drops tomorrow, is available right now this 1 week on Bandcamp for only $3.50. You can buy a 10-song digital album for $3.50. And I'm doing this because I'm hoping to hit the Billboard Top 100. We haven't shot at it with the pre-sales and the Kickstarter that we've already done. So between having a strong showing, if people stream the two singles as much as they can, and if some folks over to Bandcamp and purchase the new record, "War in the Living Room," that drops tomorrow for just $3.50, that's like 33 cents a track. Come
Does
on.
the vinyl go towards those numbers too or not?
It absolutely does.
So
I
you can
can't give you that
buy
for 350, but
you can no, but you can buy the vinyl for 20 bucks, right?
yeah, it's just $20 for a
And then
vinyl.
you
Here, wait,
can
I got one
then you
right
can
here.
do a digital download for 350.
It
And
includes a digital download, the record.
well, that's
Bam.
cool, but then
Oh
you
wait,
could still also buy a digital
there we go.
download as well
You
and
could,
and get
or you
another
could be like,
number there for you.
I just stream, but you know what? I have $7 for Kristen. I'm gonna buy 2 copies of the digital record, and
Yeah, let's see that.
um,
Let's see that album again. Hold on a second. Let me take myself off of the
we
screen here.
yay.
Well,
Dun,
that
dun,
one's
dun,
still got the shrink wrap
dun.
on it and everything, huh?
Yeah, there is. I wonder where my like display is. Anyway, it's a cool vinyl. It's translucent. with the black swirl. Every single copy is slightly different. Limited run of
Nice.
500. It's my fifth full length album, but it's my first ever on vinyl. So very excited.
You did a nice
And
job.
yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to take a page from Chris Angela's book where she's like getting Grammy noms and charting and I've gotten a lot of love and a lot of support for the Kickstarter leading up to this. So I think if we have a really strong first week of downloads and sales, it's very possible that we could crack the top 100 of the Billboard charts.
How many things do you need to sell? Do you know?
I've heard that it's like a very large streaming number that I don't think we're going to hit. Um, but in terms of sales,
Mm-hmm.
anything above 1,000 pre-sales, which
Because I
with
think Chris has cracked that before. I think she
with
has.
the Kickstarter, because you can count like some folks were really generous. They gave me like 50 or $100, so I can count them up to 4 times in
Gotcha.
terms of sales. So anyway, not to get too technical, I think the main thing to celebrate is just that like I feel like I'm really creating in my career some longtime supporters who are gonna help sustain me as I continue to release music throughout my career, as I continue to go on tour. And when that critical mass, that base gets big enough, it goes from being like you need to do something else on the side to, like you said, it's going to get pretty crazy. What kind of projects do we want to take on? What kind of who do we want to work with? Where do we want to play? And I think trying to this week hit the Billboard charts would be just a really helpful milestone along the way, or
Really cool.
mile marker.
Yeah.
I don't know what's the word. I'm like a dog, just like peeing everywhere. Like I want to pee on that. I want to pee on the Billboard charts. Put Kristen
I
Ford
feel
on
you.
there. Come on. I want to pee in the Ryman.
Oh my gosh. The
I don't know. Maybe I've taken the analogy too far. I'm fostering a puppy right now, so
aw.
um I'm thinking about that stuff more than usual.
Oh, that's so sweet. A little puppy. Um, so I just put it in the chat there, the
Thank
Kristen
you.
Ford.
That's
Um,
it.
yeah, well,
Very huge. Thanks for grabbing a
I will swing by
copy.
and buy one of those digital downloads
Sweet, 350. 350.
myself
You could either
and
have 3 items from the dollar menu at Taco Bell, or you could have this album. Or if you can't choose, just make $7 and get both.
oh my goodness. Give me
I feel
half
like
a
that's
burrito at
reasonable.
Chipotle.
You're more of a Chipotle guy? Well, shit, that's gonna set you back at least $10.
Exactly.
This album's only
Exactly.
350.
There you go. There you go. So I'm in. That is awesome. What are you doing for Thanksgiving? Where are you going to be?
I believe I'm gonna be in Huntsville, Alabama. My grandmother lives there. She's 94 years old, and I adore her.
Oh,
And some fam. So that should be good. And also, like, I just feel really grateful to be able to be getting together in person again. 2020, I had to buy like a tiny Christmas tree, tiny fake tree, and decorate it because otherwise it was just going to be too damn depressing. Just Christmas at
hmm
home all alone. And I just appreciate the freedom of movement we have and the ability to get together so much more than other years
I
after
know.
this mass trauma that we all went through.
Yeah, it will be. It will be something that you know people. It'll for the next 50 years, people will be talking about it. You know what I mean? It's just going to affect so many. It's affected so many people's lives, and come on, people, for God's sakes, get vaccinated. And my 8-year-old was vaccinated on Wednesday. And if anybody
Oh,
needs to have their child vaccinated for the holidays, meaning Christmas, you need to be vaccinated by November 20th to be on track to get the second shot in time to be fully immune as best you can be for Christmas Day. So make sure you get your shots before November 20th, folks, if you haven't gotten your shots. And yeah, we're excited because we're going to get to see some family and stuff that we um, have not been able to see because of the risk of exposing the kids
Yeah,
on each side. Oh, look at that! There it is.
that's that
You got it.
booster leash.
Yeah, I just got my flu shot 2 days ago, so I'm fully
Oh,
vaccinated,
I don't know if I believe in
hydrated.
all that.
Hey, look, human beings are insanely malleable. Like the fact that we can pump all these drugs into us all the time, and yes, some of them do bad things and can cause cancers and stuff like that. But I mean, for the most part, we can put a lot of stuff in these bodies, and it can benefit us. We're very lucky. So I am all for, I mean, when you get to be my age, it's like, look, if they're going to give me some kind of vaccine that's probably going to, it's going to affect me later in life, I'm going to be dead anyway. So it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? So you can get it. But there's no motivation for big pharma to kill you. There's a motivation for them maybe to keep you sick. Okay. But I mean, they got no motivation to do great harm to you because they want to sell you the vaccine
you,
forever and ever and ever and ever.
you, we started talking about vaccines, and now this shit's gonna get buried because
Well,
they're trying to keep the misinformation machine down. You know.
yeah, I mean, it's like
Oh
the
well.
myocarditis thing. Like, there's no myocarditis, folks. The risk of getting myocarditis by COVID is about 15 times higher than if you're a young man and you were to contract it from the COVID vaccine. The myocarditis incidents are virtually they're nil. They're not even really registerable. So, yeah, I mean, it drives me crazy that we even talk about things like that because you're just scaring people over something that literally is not true.
I don't even know what that is,
Yeah, well, it's good that you don't.
but I
Are
dropped
you
out
gonna
of
play us
college.
a song?
Yeah.
A vaccine
Fine.
song?
uh, I got
I got my
Moderna.
shot and my dog died and I was headed to the liquor store.
We could do that.
There you go. We'll write a honky tonk song sometime and embarrass me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the incomparable Kristen Ford.
Ooh, what song to play? Gosh, I'm not really sure, but I actually got a set list right here
I love
off
it.
of our this is CD release show or album release shows tomorrow. So I think I'll do this song. It's just three chords, but it's pretty complex. It's called East Side. After this, I'm going back to the East Side. I'm not built for the downtown life. No, it's not for me. After this, I'm going back to the East Side. I'm not fit for glass high rise. No, it's not for me. Don't you ever come to my, 'cause you broke my heart and I can't take the time. Little love, you're my little love. You're my little love, give a little love. Just a little love till you get enough. 'Cause I can't sleep. I'm going back to the East Side. Don't you ever come to mine, 'cause you broke my heart and I can't take the time. Bed's too big without you. Bed's too big without you. You're my little love, you're my little love. You're my little love, give a little love. Just a little love till you get enough. Yeah, after to this. I'm going back to the east side. I'm not hanging with the suits and ties. I wanted to free. Yeah, don't you ever come to mind, 'cause you broke my heart and I can't take the time. Oh, that's too big without you. 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 There you go. Oh, I think you're muted again.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, Rev Mac
Oh.
Live. Rev Mac Live present.
I'm back. I'm live. I'm nationwide. I do that. I wanted to swing back for a moment to our little conversation there. Maybe we can wrap it up with this, and if you want, or whatever. And you certainly don't have to answer. But you brought about. We talked a little bit. We've touched on it a couple times when you've been on the show before about your kind of knowing that you're. Do you consider yourself gay or queer, or
I like the term queer, but yeah, like
I thought
queer,
you did.
gay, lesbian, whatever.
Yeah, I thought you liked queer, so I was going to use queer. But the coming of an understanding of that you're queer, and anything that you might want to share with somebody, if you want to, that that might be feeling the same way, or kind of exploring the same thing, and just some anecdotes of that, because I don't think it's more accepted now, but I don't think we necessarily talk about it still as much as might be helpful.
Sure. Oh, well, thanks for asking. I think, part of what made me not want to come out of the closet, or not even want to acknowledge to myself like who I knew in my heart of hearts that I was at first, was because I really don't feel like I had any role models. I didn't have anyone that was a performer or was really doing kind of music I liked, or seemed like they were in a really happy relationship, or was really successful or really acknowledged. Like, I don't know, we had like a gym teacher in middle school that people would snicker about behind her back. And like, I guess Ellen DeGeneres before there was like the Ellen show or anything. So I think if through my music, or through just being a human being, or doing acting or whatever, just like creating stuff, creating stories, I might be able to show somebody else that there is a path for them, or there is a lane for them to be whoever the fuck it is that they want to be. And the other thing is, my dad's black, my mom's white. I'm mixed, but a lot of times people don't view me as that. And I grew up in a really white part of the country, and I really didn't have any friends of color growing up. And it's been beautiful in my journey as a musician, and now as an actor, like working in Atlanta. It's so much black led content, and just getting to work with different races and different people, and different sexual orientations and gender. And I think we have to do a lot. As a cis woman, I think I have a lot of privilege, and as a light skinned person, I have a lot of privilege, and it's important that we try to just hold space for people, and not necessarily dominate the conversation, but like ask what is it that you need, and how is it that we can help each other out, and not just for Pride Month, not just like
Right.
one
Every month,
weekend
right.
when Svedka Vodka or whoever's gonna swoop in and like have rainbow bracelets for people, but like every day, day in, day out, how do we take care of each other? How do we love each other? And I love playing with a band right now because my band is mostly women, and I'm not exclusive. Like men can play in my band too. Like this guy Steve Push actually co-wrote that song "Lock Up My Heart" with me, and he's playing guitar. But playing with women, and then if I can, playing with women of color, and also like the women's music circuit and the Pride circuit has been very helpful to me. But I also want to go more the way like the Brandy Carlisles of the world. And I was
Hmm.
in college when I had friends who were on her street team, and she was still just grinding it out, doing very small club shows. And I think you had mentioned Lil Nas X, like he's so inspiring to me because he's an out black gay man that is doing his thing unapologetically him, and he's destroying it,
Unapologetically, yeah.
killing it. He is fucking killing it, and everyone loves it. And you would never think, oh, this is a stigma. Like I know women who have been dropped from labels because they wanted to say she, her pronouns in love songs. And the minute
Seriously.
that they dug their heels in and said, no, I'm not changing the lyrics. I wrote the song like this on purpose. They cut off from all um, the support and having a platform. And there's even a pretty major country artist that I saw her back in the day at the Lipstick Lounge, which is a lesbian bar here in town. And everybody who knows her knows that she's queer, but in terms of online and in the songs, and it's just very tight-lipped.
Hmm.
And honestly, I think it's sad. I think it's like, let's fucking just be who we are and hope that the world will adjust, and not even adjust, but we can thrive by doing our thing. So yeah, I'm queer. I'm here. Let's do some shows for humans.
I love
Let's
it.
make some
I
music for
love it.
human beings, whoever the fuck you are. I don't care. It's all
Yeah,
the
the
experience.
well, I'm glad we could talk about that a little bit because I lost someone important to me a week ago Tuesday.
Mm,
No, wait, yeah. So wait, is today Wednesday?
it,
Um, yeah, this was last Tuesday. Not, I mean, it's 8 days ago, and they were very prominent in their field and very progressive liberals. And Jay and David, they got married in Canada before you could get married, in the U.S. So, they, I think they're very much working hard for that community. And I am, I'm a middle aged white dude who came of age in New York, but was born in the Midwest. And thank God for whatever reason. And my parents are actually kind of independent kind of people, but I didn't have any kind of overt, you know, against anything, right? You know what I mean? Like I may have been inexperienced or something, but I even though my mom's dad was overtly racist, that just didn't just it wasn't a part of who I was. So I feel lucky that I kind of escaped the Midwest in some ways without that, and then got to New York and see things differently. But I really appreciate that we could have that conversation because I definitely know there are still lots of people out there who struggle. And we think of, you're a successful musician and I get to go out and do things, in LA and meet interesting people in entertainment. And we kind of walk in these little circles that are pretty little compared to the rest of the people in the country sometimes, or
mm,
on the planet. So that little Nas X can be an out black man. That's a bold thing, in for an out black man. That is not something that
Yeah.
every black man can just do. And
It's fucking amazing to live in the future. We're creating
yeah,
it right now.
yeah, exactly. So it is really fun to be able to talk about those things. And you were going to be in Alabama for Thanksgiving, and I
Yeah.
know that once you get south of that Mason-Dixon line, man, they start serving some good things like turnip greens and white beans and pulled pork and wet barbecue and dry barbecue and all that kind of stuff, plus the turkey and the okra and
I
the
I'm just laughing because I feel like your stereotype or idea of what a Southern Thanksgiving is and like what my actual extended family is like are very different. But
well, that was my
you're
Southern
not wrong.
Thanksgiving.
The food's good here. The food's
That
good
was
here.
my family's Southern Thanksgiving, all
You
those things
gotta
that I
keep it
named.
at the gym. You gotta keep it tight.
But yeah, fantastic. Well, when are you coming back? When are you going to hang out with me again?
I mean, we can probably check in soon. I'm gonna be dropping visual content around
Oh,
this
cool.
record
That'll be fun.
that comes out in 58 minutes. Wow!
Woo!
It's probably already out on the East Coast. Oh
It
my god,
is.
my album's been out for 2 minutes in New
I
York.
love it.
Like, I can't believe it. I'm so excited. And also
You've worked a
like
long time.
I'm like, did I forget anything? Are we ready? Who knows? But I do really appreciate you having me on your show, and it's always such a pleasure. I like our conversations, and just trying to reach out and connect with different people, different formats, and figure out what is it that we're doing here.
Yeah, well, your album is released. You know what I mean? It's out in the
So
wild. If I just jumped up on Surfshark or something and put in one of those, those fake IP addresses and pretended I was in New York, I could buy one right now. So it's out. It is available for purchase.
damn, you ready to
Um,
hacker this shit? You just gotta wait 1 hour.
right? Well, I might be asleep in an hour. So I may not buy it till tomorrow. But this week, everybody, you got to buy that album and let's get
Yeah, and
Kristen
you can
Ford.
pre-order it now. So if you're on the West Coast or if you're in some other time zone, you can
You can
pre-order
get it.
now, and I will release the pre-orders at midnight tonight. And with any luck, we will hit the Billboard Top 100s if enough
That's what
people
I'm hoping for. So, what
stream
do we
and
have?
pre-order and buy albums. We can do this.
We have 1 week from now.
Yeah,
So, when you're and I had a little bit of a crazy day, or I would have promoted this uh more, but I don't want to get into that. But if you got stuff that you specifically would like me to post, right? Because I'll try to retweet or repost or whatever the heck you do on Instagram, your stuff. But feel free to send me like a couple things a day that I can throw up on a reel or a story for
sure.
you and see if we can pull in a little more. Be very deliberative and specific about we want you to buy a damn record, and I mean, like anything you want to send me, I'll be happy to post it. So
Well, it's definitely not going to be $3.50 after this week. It's a crazy deal, but we're going to try to do something massive. Let's disrupt big business.
hey, I'm all for it.
Energy. Yes.
Christine
Like why not?
Christina Honeycutt just pre-ordered an album.
Hey, that's wonderful. Thank you, Christine.
So
You're
there
the
you
best.
go. I
You're the
love when
best.
people just
Oh,
pop
I
in and
love
say,
that.
I bought it.
Hey, enjoy it. You're gonna like it.
That is a beautiful thing. I will. You know what? I've got like 2 or 3 shows that I need to post up on Instagram, but I will try to. This should be fairly easy to edit together, so I will definitely get it out this week so we can get you one more chance to get viewed. Oh, that's cool. Is that a sticker?
No, it's a graphic. Our graphics team was working a long time on that 3D thing, the way it goes into the camera.
Oh,
It's a graphic.
cool.
No,
Cool,
I
cool,
don't know.
cool. I'm
I'm just
high.
playing with you. But thank you so much for having me. I will send you some links and we'll see what as a community we can get done. Why not? Just
Yeah,
sounds
happy
fun
to
to
promote
try.
this out as best I can for you.
Yeah,
Super
hell yeah.
excited. Congratulations.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for being with me during your premiere. Makes me feel pretty special.
War in the living room. It's coming.
I love it. Christina says, love your music. Jumped on that deal. Got the LP. Cha-ching.
Ooh, girl. There you go.
Way to go. I would have to buy a record player, but but I will hopefully buy the vinyl at some point.
It's big. It's 12 inches. It's square.
I used to have those things called albums back in the day.
Graphics department again. Watch this.
Your VFX skills probably need to be boosted a little bit, but you'll get there. And I definitely would love to see your film, folks, if you want to do that. And anytime you're acting and you need something promoted, something boosted on Instagram or something, let me know.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah.
And well, talk to me this week. Like maybe we can, because you might have, I don't know, how many Instagram followers do you have?
3,000 or so.
So you have a pretty good, amount.
I'm new on TikTok. Are you on TikTok, Rev?
Yeah, I'm kind of on TikTok, but I mean, the thing is TikTok kind of asked me to limit my appearances because people were just jamming up the system to watch me. So,
I understand.
They've asked me to limit my appearances on there.
It's getting a little crazy for me as well.
Yeah.
But it's a new platform. I enjoy learning new skills, and we'll see what that is a doorway to. Who knows?
Yeah, well, what I was thinking was maybe, well, let's just talk. We'll talk offline because you can get some pretty good traction out of a couple of well-positioned, inexpensive. Have you ever bought any Instagram ads?
I don't know if we should talk this on air.
Yeah, let's talk off. We'll talk offline.
Yeah,
because you should boost a couple of your posts. It's very cheap and it'll help.
Sure.
All right, everybody. Well, listen. My name is Revolution McInnes. This has been the big interview. I have been with Kristen, the Kristen Ford. If you know another Kristen Ford, it's not the Kristen Ford. It's got to be the Kristen Ford, and she has an amazing new album. And I know this because I've heard cuts from it right here tonight. So if you happened upon the show and you didn't get to hear Kristen play, I don't know. Do you want to play us out with a song? Do you want to play one more?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. So we're going to wrap it up right now. We're going to literally close out with the song. So this is Revolution McInnes. Kristen Ford is the incomparable Kristen Ford's about to come up. I appreciate all of you for watching. Peace be with you and namaste.
Thanks so much for having me. And the song is called Gray Sky Blue. Little wine drunk and you're laughing at the party. Just for the night, pretend that you're happy. Take a big shot of water, you're gasping for breath. Try to play it cool, but you die a little death. So what's it worth to you to try to paint a green sky blue? You want my shelter, you were turning it, and all I want is a breeze upon my skin. I can take you to the playa down in Mexico, and that ain't gonna help it, we both already know. We could sell our furniture at the open road, put the lightning in the bottle, yet kind of had before. So what's it worth to you to try to paint a gray sky blue? You want my shelter, you were turning it, And all I want is the breeze upon my skin. Sour lightning in a bottle. Yeah, I want lightning in a bottle. You are my shelter, you are turning it. And I want lightning, I want lightning. Woo!